Well, hello and welcome back to the vintage Triang Super 4 based model railway. I'm up here enjoying a little bit of train running between some jobs I've got lined up for the day. And right there, that's the Wrenn Windsor Castle. It's been on the channel before, but it looks great in its BR experimental blue. And it's hauling a couple of Pullman coaches at express speed. Now, just going through the newly completed and extended station is the Triang Pannier. Now, this is a lovely loco, one of my favourites, R051, and you can see I've got some Triang GWR clear story coaches on there. Now, that's going at a much slower speed. Now, why am I crawling around the layout? Well, I'll tell you why. A younger member of the family got me this excellent Christmas present, and it's a model train speedometer. Now, I think the Windsor Castle is about to go by at a stunning 61 miles an hour, and there goes the Pannier, slightly slower, 22. Now, you might think, well, that's a bit of a gimmick. What's that doing on a vintage layout? Well, it's just sitting there for a little while until I think how to modernise it, because I did have a look at a video before Christmas about this item and mention it to my son, and the only thing that I saw as a slight disadvantage was the fact that the sensors are built into the actual main board, but I think with a little bit of modification I'm going to be able to rectify that. Well, I know I am, because here's something from eBay. Now, I haven't fitted this one up yet. Now, this was a very reasonable price. In fact, it was less than half the price that my son paid for the one that we've just looked at. And I'm just going to quickly show you what's in this packet. Now, I haven't had a chance to set it up yet, and it might defeat me just at the moment. I might have to cut away because there's a... I don't know whether I can open this pack with one finger. Just bear with me. We'll take a look at the Pannier inching round again. I am endeavouring to open this packet as I aim towards the Pannier tank, and we'll just see 22.8 miles an hour. Okay, well, I have indeed now opened this second packet, so I'm just going to take the items out. Now, what you're looking at there is just a power supply I found lying around the house for some old item. And this is the slightly more interesting thing, because it's a kit. Now, I've bought this one ready assembled, but you can buy it as a kit of parts. And already the main advantage that you might see is that the two sensors are remote. So they're separate from the main unit. Now, the main unit is there, and also separate from the main unit is the digital readout for the speed. So this is going to really mean that a lot of this can be hidden away under the baseboard. These can be put inside a station platform, and then I think possibly I will either put that inside my homemade Watts and amp meter somewhere down here as a little display. I don't know. So it could be that we'll have voltage, amps, and then speed, because it is a very, very small item. Let me just see if I can show you how small this is. So I could easily modify the top of that to house that display. I don't know, I haven't quite worked it out yet. Now, this is a great item. I've had a quick look at it. Let me just remove this foil that's been put on it. It's got a programmable chip, and it does have a switch so you can alter many of the settings. I am going to try and get this set up for the next video, and then we'll do a comparison between this kit-built speedometer and the off-the-shelf one that I've just got set up for demonstration purposes. So there goes the Express again, and that is travelling at a really respectable 69.4 miles an hour. Now, I certainly don't intend to go anywhere near modernising this layout. It's just that it's sometimes really interesting to include modern accessories. I can imagine what it would have been like if we'd have had speedometers like that when these models were available new. I'm sure everybody would have been quite interested to know what scale speed their locos were doing. But I do like sometimes mixing a little bit of new technology in with the old. Now let's just check this pannier out. It might have picked up a little bit of speed, so let's have a look. Yes, we're up to 25.6 miles an hour. I mean, looking at this, you wouldn't think it's travelling terribly fast, but it is indeed at probably nearly maximum speed. So let's take a quick look at the station at the back of the layout. I was very lucky to get an extension section to fit into the centre of that now. It's now three double canopies long, and I really think it's looking quite good. I can get a fairly long train undercover in the station now, and I do have a second building, but that's not for passenger use. The railway staff are making that their headquarters, so the passengers will have to make do with the existing facilities on the right of the main station. It is always nice when family and friends take the time to get you interesting railway related presents. I will show you something slightly, I don't know whether you can see my furry wrist here. I do have a very interesting Christmas item of clothing. I'm breaking it in at the moment, and I'm deciding whether I actually really like it or whether I shall just save it for occasional indoor use. I have to say it is incredibly warm, so it is quite good to wear up here in the layout, especially as temperatures have dipped down a little bit. So yeah, I got the normal type of Christmas present as well, some socks and clothing items, but rather excitingly a couple of railway items too. So I hope you all got something useful and have enjoyed your festive season. It's getting dangerously near the time now where decorations will have to be packed up, lights taken down, and then we're into the cold and dark start of a new year. Well, I'm just going to let these locos go around the layout a bit more and enjoy running them. I'm hoping to get the Midlander set up and running for the next video, but I have had to take the laminate and the temporary layout up from downstairs because I had a slight mechanical issue with my vehicle, which is in the workshop receiving attention at the moment. But hopefully I'll have that resolved by next week, and we'll get the excellent Triang Dealey running around a loop of track. Now, it looks to me like the Pannier's slowed down a little bit again, so I'm just looking forward to checking out that speed, hoping it's around the 20 mile an hour. Let's have a look. 24. So I think if I lift this up and now just show you it, I had to put a couple of little bits of heat shrink tubing just over the sensors. I'll show you the sensor. I just put that because you get errors with the light. You see now I've pulled that off, it's just showing a constant reading. You get errors with the light from the overhead lights just shining into these. There's a trimmer there, a pot, just for adjusting sensitivity. but I really think it would be quite easy to unsolder these and make a small daughter board and then mount them remotely on the layout. So I'm probably going to disassemble this and see whether I can just make it a little bit more user friendly. So put the sensors somewhere hidden on the layout and then maybe put this next to my amp and watt meters. Now it did come with a 3D print file and I've had quite an exciting time with my 3D printer. If I show you this photograph, that's what I ended up with rather than the nice casing for the speedometer. So as you can see, there was a bit of a misfire on the printer, but I'm quite keen to hang on to this creation because it could qualify as modern art. Maybe send it into a competition somewhere. Just need to think up of a good title for what it might represent, but quite honestly, looking at the craziness of the filament and the arrangement there, it springs to mind that it reminds me a bit of my random thought processes at the moment. But yeah, I need to have a look at that printer. It's obviously not working as intended, so I think I might have a bit of fun with that after my lunch today. Right then, that's about all the updates I've got model railway wise at the moment, so I'm going to in advance wish you all a very happy new year 2022 for the weekend, and until the next video I'll say goodbye.